Hey, Bulldogs! Welcome to our 7th episode of the Doghouse. I'm your host, Brody Wiederholt. The Doghouse is a podcast designed to go behind the scenes of Van Meter schools and the Van Meter community. And today we'll be talking about one of our most popular sports here at Van Meter, football. So, here to help me with that, we have our two guests. If you guys want to introduce yourself,
I'm Henry Lounsbury.
and
Um,
what do you play in football too? We have
I'm the quarterback, and then I also play outside linebacker, and I kick too. So,
I'm Tate Doggett. I play running back and then linebacker.
nice. So it's hard to talk about football in a sense of what it is because it's a game. Everyone knows how to play a game, or at least they need to learn how to play it. So it's pretty cut and dry. There's nothing to it. But what I want to ask you here is, what is football to you? And what makes you want to go out and do football? And what makes it such a fun sport that you guys have been doing it for, I'd assume 4 years now, right? You guys have been in it for the program for 4 years. So yeah, what is that to you guys?
I would say it's more like the relationships you build. Obviously, just like Henry and all my friends, we've been playing since like third grade. So that's when tackle football starts. But just like I would say there's a lot of things outside of football as well, like team meals, like dyeing our hair. Obviously, we have some crazy hair doing that. Just the bonding part of it's really important. And then that just kind of motivates you on the field to play hard and just do it for your guys. And as coach always says, like try to gain time, like gain one more week. So just keep playing and then hopefully keep winning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I would say too. Like, it's really special um, here at Van Meter, and I mean, there's not really much else I can say from that. So,
Yeah, kind of going off what Tate said. Obviously you guys have some like little pregame stuff and rituals as you do, because Tate, I don't think you usually have blue hair, and Henry, I don't think you're usually blonde. So can you guys kind of talk about that, even though we already kind of touched on it?
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of a tradition in football in general, but here at Van Meter, just doing something crazy with your hair if you make it to the dome. So yeah.
yeah, I would say it's a lot of fun doing our hair and stuff, especially for when you make state and stuff. That's kind of what everybody does. So, it's a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, is there anything else you kind of guys do before a game that is like you do every game just for, you know, it's a ritual that you guys do?
We usually play pool and stuff and like poker and stuff before, like Thursdays before
Nice.
every game. So just hanging out with our friends and stuff is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then I'd also say like team meal. That
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
every Thursday would bring you guys together. But
Mhm.
yeah. So, congrats by the way on making it to the dome this weekend. So I just want to say congrats. I'm sure there'll be tons of fans cheering you on there. But kind of getting to this point is such an achievement, but I feel like when you get to points like this, the pressure's on really for you guys. And I kind of just want to ask, what what's how do you guys stay motivated when, you're about to go 2 hours away to this dome where it's like, okay, this is the state quarterfinals, right? So like, the pressure's on. So what really keeps you guys motivated, you would say?
Um, I would just say thinking about it as any other week. Obviously, the pressure's a little higher because it's the atmosphere's different. It's in a stadium. There's a lot more fans and stuff. But just thinking about it as a normal game, doing what you usually do, and like from the experience last year, like kind of getting settled in is a little tough, and like getting used to the environment. It's a lot drier. It's a lot tougher to play, but just getting settled in and just treating it as any other game.
Yeah, I would kind of say the same thing. There's definitely a lot of pressure, but I feel like once you get going and stuff, you kind of ease into it, and then eventually, you're ready to go.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I mean, it's a very stressful situation to be in when it kind of can't speak for you guys, but I feel like kind of like the whole town's rooting for you. So I mean that's great, but also whole town's watching you. So there's also that pressure on it. But let's kind of talk back to more a couple of years ago when you guys were just freshmen or even just middle schoolers. Looking up at the varsity team and wanting to be there. What was kind of your motivation to stay in the team? Because obviously not everyone starts varsity their first year of high school. So what do you think really kept you in the game, and what do you think you have any advice for someone who's an underclassman looking up to you guys?
Watching them and stuff was really special, and I think that's kind of what we know we should do, and like watching them definitely like that's what we want to accomplish. So
Yeah, I would say just obviously you look up to the older guys, like especially me with my brother. I always look up to him, even if I'm not starting. But just doing what you can at practice, and then knowing that you'll be in that situation someday too. So just learning everything you can.
Yeah, that's great. So, what's your guys's like? What do you think is your favorite thing outside of playing football? You know, you're either sitting on the sidelines or you're about to go in for a play, and like I don't know, you look to the sidelines. What do you think is either your favorite part or what motivates you?
I'd say definitely the student section. When they're really loud, it definitely helps a lot and stuff. So
Yeah, I agree. Just
Yeah.
bringing more energy, and like especially if the student section's loud, then that means their sideline's loud, and then everything's just better, I guess.
Yeah, no, if you're a student at Van Meter and you're either not in the football program or you just haven't taken your time out the day to go see these guys, we only have potentially 2 games left, including this weekend. So if you really want to go, you know, support them, I mean, a big student section is just great to have because it really motivates someone, you know, going on the field. We've talked with volleyball on this, and they kind of talked about how, you know, the student section, which I think you guys sit in on the volleyball student section,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they really talk about how it's a great motivator for them, and it really, you know, gets them going and gets them motivated. So I think you guys would sympathize with that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if you want to go check them out, it's not just limited to the student section. You know, if you're a parent too, it's always great to go support them. And then, of course, if you're thinking about joining the football program, I'll ask you guys this: why should someone join the football program? Other
Yeah.
than football, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what we touched on earlier, just like the relationships you can build and like the bonds you can make. It's just more than football. I mean, even at practice, like we have scout team, obviously we have special teams. Like even if you're not a starter, you can still participate and help the team in any way. So I mean, it's always fun.
I would also say like it teaches you a lot of stuff. Like I mean, like discipline and like all that stuff. I mean, it teaches you a lot, and I think it's definitely worth it.
So let's kind of talk about the team aspect of football. You know, um, I'm sure I've heard it a couple times, even not just from Trudeau, but I mean, there's no I in team. So how do you guys really get together and, you know, be a team? Because it's how many players on the field? Is it 11?
11. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 11 players on the field, and all of you have to work together, you know, to really win that. And, you know, we get to state every year, so I feel like we have a great team, you know. So what is that team, really?
I'd say kind of as Drew always says, just you got to trust the guy next to you, because obviously there's a lot of different positions. Just knowing that the guy next to you will do their job, and then as long as you do your job, it's all you can do. So
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would say. If like everybody does their job, I think we'll succeed. So
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Tate and Henry, for joining us on this podcast episode. If you want to go check out the football team, they'll be at the Dome this Saturday. Do you guys know what time the game starts?
10.
10 the game starts. There is an admission fee, so make sure you get your tickets or you have enough money to buy tickets. And if you want to go support them, please go check out the athletic boosters. That always helps them. They're always looking for new things like jerseys or helmets or pads, because, you know, football's a physical sport, and, you know, things break. It
Yep.
happens. So please go support them. Please go check them out. Please go watch and, you know, get involved. And if you want to go support this podcast, please go check out the Van Meter Performing Arts Boosters. That helps fund this podcast to, you know, really help us look into the smaller parts of the community and see what people have to say about certain events that are coming up. And until next time.